Hey guys, it's me Pink Lover, and today I'm going to be showing you how to make a doll sleeping bag. So here's what you're going to need. A small pair of scissors, a needle and thread, your choice of color. I would say anything that matches, you know, like those things you wear over your head, like to cover your ears. It's kind of like a headband, but it's for the winter and stuff. So I have an old one that was hand knit, and I'm going to turn that into a doll sleeping bag. Okay, so here we go. First, you're gonna find a spot that you wouldn't mind cutting. It's okay. You want to try to find this seam if you can, and try to cut there so it could be re-sewn, but with the needle thread instead of knitting needle wool. Once you carefully cut it at the seam or near the seam, so kind of make the seam itself on both sides, you want to spread it out. It's obviously going to be extremely long, so you're not going to want to go near the seam, but I would say about this much, or maybe even more, should be taken off. You can kind of measure it toward your doll too. So then you're going to cut that. So you want to have it so it's like some up here and some down here. So we're just going to sew around these edges, but we're going to turn it inside out. And this we're going to turn into something really cute to go with it. We'll see after that. For this there really is no inside out, but I'm just kind of doing it like this. So I'm going to take my needle and thread, and I'm going to start right here and go a little further just so I can show you. So obviously it's pretty easy because this was knit, so it already has holes to go through pretty much. But if you have something that was just one material, that could be pretty easy too. And you're just going to want to go from here all the way down to the bottom and stop, because there should be a seam there. So I'm going to show you a little more along the way. So continue to sew it as tightly as you can, and you're going to notice you're only going to see the front thread, and the other ones are kind of going to disappear as you go. So you don't even have to turn it inside out if you don't want to, or if you forgot to. Once you get past a certain point, you're going to see the starting little end tabs. You could kind of trim those down a bit, and then continue. Now just remember to go as close to the edge as you possibly can, because then when we do kind of turn it inside out for the final product, it has more wiggling room and stuff, but this is pretty stretchy too. So as you can see, it should be coming out pretty good. We're kind of close to the bottom part, so like I said, we're going to stop there. So I'll probably show you when I get to over here. So now we have a really little hole left. You're going to go all the way to the bottom, and then you're going to do a tie-off stitch, which I'll show you when I get there. So once you're at the bottom of the first side, this is what you're going to do for a tie-off. Stick your needle in as if you are going to make another stitch. Pull it through, not all the way though, so it's kind of like sticking out. Then pick it up and push it through the loop and pull, and you made a tie-off knot. You could do 1, 2, or 3 depending on how much leftover thread you have and how secure you need it to be. I did 2, and I'm just going to cut it off right here. So now get some more thread so we can move on to the next side. Thread your needle and wait for the next step. Okay, just so it's easier to get the doll in, this is what I'm going to do. You want to leave like this much so it can be folded over. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take this scissor, and I'm just going to leave that there so I can do a stitch all the way down and leave off that little part so it's easier for the doll to get in and out. And then I'm going to do a stitch from here all the way down to the end, and we're going to do the same tie-off stitch we did before. And after that, we're going to do the final last steps. And remember to do it really tightly as you can go, and as close to the edge as you can. And remember to leave that folded over. You don't have to have something over it, just try to make it have a little crease first. And continue all the way down to the end. You might need to cut that little tab thing like we did on the other side. Now you should be almost near the end. Once you get to the end, you're going to do the tie-off stitch again. Cut it, and we're going to do the final steps. So now we're going to turn it inside out to see our final product. You might want to stick your hand in there and kind of stretch it out as much as you can too. So now we have a simple, easy access doll sleeping bag. There's a few modifications we can make to make it really good though. Okay, so what you might want to do, which I'm going to do real quick, is take your needle and thread, and we don't want these weird and loose like that. So, or if you have a rough edge, you might want to just take your needle and thread and go around it and do a tie-off stitch over here just to make it nice and solid and good. Okay, so I'm going to do that and show you how that looks. Tie it off, cut it, and move to the last thing. So now with the piece we cut off, we're going to cut off about, I'd say, an inch, or however much you think would be good to make a pillow. Once you have the right size and shape, you're going to sew around all the edges except this one and do the tie-off knots like we did before. And this little scrap you can either throw out or turn into a Lego Friends sleeping case, like what I'm probably going to try to do. Before I continue to the next side, I'm going to cut off any excess and use a couple of extra pieces to stuff the pillow. Once your pillow is done, you can put it on and see how it looks. It's nice and squishy and nice, and you have a really good sleeping bag. So I want to show you a fun find. You can crunch up your favorite cereal, get an old Tic Tac container, put it in, and have a doll self-serve cereal container. I used a really cute mini pack of Tic Tacs. Once I finished it, I cleaned it out, filled it up with these, and I crunched up and they look really cute. So now we have a bunch of things that are really good for a sleepover. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe and like for more tutorials. Bye.